Hi, my name's Orasio Morales. I'm a Class A driver, shop steward for the Class A's right here at LA Unified. I've been working with the district, I want to say about close to 15 years now, and decided to work here because I felt that it was a great opportunity to go out and provide service for the kids, for the actual for the schools, and I felt that it was a great way of finding a career where I can whatever I did, it meant something. At least that's the way I felt it would be. I've been a member I have been a member of the Local 99 since I started, so I guess about 14, 15 years now. I stepped up as a steward for the Class A's at our warehouse. I want to say about 2 going on 3, I believe, years now. There was a feeling of insecurity at my work location. We were always constantly being told what to do, how to do it, and not having any kind of guidance on what we were doing was correct. Knowing that in a gut feeling that it wasn't right, but management and supervisors would try to implement their own rules as they went along. But we had no knowledge, or at least nobody stepped up to find the knowledge of understanding what they were doing was wrong. I felt that it was in me. I've always been told by my parents and how I grew up is say something. You see something wrong, you say something. A lot of the gentlemen around me that are grown men, but they just kind of flew low below the radar. Is it just the least they know of you, the better off you are. Yet a lot of things were being implemented to us that wasn't right, but because they were afraid maybe to speak up or had no guidance on how to speak up, they allowed it to happen. I saw that as a trigger point in my life where I was like, no, this is wrong. This is wrong. So I stepped up as a Class A steward, and little by little, I didn't know much to begin with. I went in fresh and green. I became more knowledgeable as the time went on, and I've learned a lot since then through representatives here at the local at 99, and with some of the old stewards that are from other locations, and there's a couple stewards there for stock workers. So I've learned a lot as time has gone on, and I decided to do this leadership part. I did what's that again? What I did, I forgot what it's called. With Anna.
Academy.
With Anna.
MLA.
MLA, there he is. I became involved with the MLA program to get more knowledgeable about how a union ran. Because, like I said, although I was part of the union, I had no knowledge on how it ran and how things were conducted here. So I became more familiar with the people involved here, which was a great thing because now I was able to connect that bridge, the bridge between the union and the members. When you don't have anybody to communicate with the union, the problems that you have at your work location aren't being heard by anybody at the union. So I put myself as that bridge to get information that we needed as a workforce to understand our rights, our contract rights, policies that were being broken, and that led to the great strike that we had. We fought. We all fought together. You have to think back and you see and you focus on prior incidents in your life. You can't have a future without a past. So with this strike that we conducted and we all became involved, it was historical. We had the teachers behind us. It was a great feeling of accomplishment when we all led together. We fought together, and finally, people that when we went to schools during the MLA program, we came across a lot of people that were negative or were just scared to speak up for themselves, and that fear turned into a feeling of pushing you away, of not wanting to get themselves involved with the union. So as time progressed during the strike vote, and we went to multiple schools and got everybody's feedback, and then the process it went through, and it took a bit of a while. But as you would say, the snowball, you throw a snowball and it started getting bigger and bigger. Our snowball rose to a point where it was about to go. Now we were going to strike. We all stuck together with the fight. The teachers were involved with us. Everybody united. It was a great experience to have gone through those 3 days. The weather was horrible, yet we all stuck together and we fought through it, and we all got something that was supposed to be ours for a long time ago, and we finally had something resolved on paper, new language, increase in wages, things that would help you to survive with the way the economy was going. Everything was getting more expensive. So it helped us to accomplish what was thought was unconscionable. It happened, and it can happen again. We have to stick together from this point on, because we're coming up on new negotiations. We're coming up on a new language that we want implemented in our contract. But if we don't stick together and we don't keep that fight like we did the last time, there will be no future for us. So what I'm trying to say is that you can't have a future without a past. Our past was strength. We united, and from that we will feed off of that to push us forward for our new contract language and our new hopefully raises that we can implement with our wages, and have a better understanding of living life without being check to check, surviving with the way the economy is going up. We need to have better wage increases so we can survive. There was a lot of fear in our members' eyes. Although they were part of the union, they were very fearful of what could happen. The unknown, fear of the unknown. I had guys at my location at procurement, the drivers, that they were like, I'm the only income winner here. I can't survive a strike. And I told them, wow, think of it this way. You're okay with what you're getting right now? Because everything's going to go up. Wages are going to stay the same. And you can't be fearful of what the future will lead us to if you're not willing to take that first step. If you're looking at a lake and you have a rock in your hand and you're not willing to throw it to cause waves, to cause some kind of ripple effect, then it's always going to stay the same. There's never going to be change unless you're willing to step up and make change. So that was key words that I kept having to tell my guys, the drivers where I represent at my work location, to motivate them, to keep them going. There's always going to be fear. Fear is inevitable. It's everywhere. But if you're not willing to step up and be a strong person and fight for what is right and what should be given to you, then you're accepting whatever it is that you got now and what you have now. If you're not willing to take that step forward, then eventually you're going to be taking 2 steps back. I was here with the MLA program, and I was actually helping and assisting with a lot of the things that needed to be done for those rallies. So I was busy. They had me busy doing everything, driving things back and forth. And yeah, it was long days, but all said and done, it was every minute of time that I could have slept, wasted, or spent time with the family. It was well worth putting it into what I felt was right, and I felt there was a strong fight there, and that I needed to be present in order to, because if you don't have a leader, then you don't have a force. Someone has to step up and show that there's something can be accomplished. Because if there is no one there, then it's like when you go back and you say, if a tree falls in a forest and it makes a loud sound, but there's no one was there to hear it, did it really happen? If you didn't fight the fight, was it really a fight to fight? You need to put yourselves out there and take a chance. We did it before, and we can do it again. During our time with the MLA program, going to schools, I saw a lot of, like I said, a lot of people were scared. And when I first went to the schools, I would talk to certain people because they would be there and they would ask questions, and they didn't want to be involved too much. As time went on, and I had to go back to the schools again, I noticed the same people that were negligent, or they didn't want to be involved. Now they were asking positive. They were coming at me positively, asking me questions more. They were more curious about what was going on because they saw finally a change. Something was going in the right direction. Something was moving forward instead of moving back. So though that was very inspiring to know that people, even though they had fear, they were willing to go far and beyond that little line that they drew in the sand, and they stepped over it. They stepped over their comfort zone to go towards something that they were finally seeing, some kind of resolution, some kind of light to fight for, which was very inspiring to me. You know, we go back to when I first started working here, and there was a lot of negativity talk about the union. There was employees that had a bad taste in their mouth about the union. Things that happened in the past, I feel should stay in the past because there's a new set of people in charge at the union now that do care, and I can see that they are trying to implement new ideas and fighting for our rights. The strike hit, and the way it has changed completely. The mentality of how a lot of our employees feel about the union, because we went through a fight and we accomplished something very incredible. That we were able to raise our wages. We were to change some language in our contract that got submitted in, and there was a definite change on people's perspective on how they felt about the union. I've been, like I said, I've seen both sides where people were very negative and now people are very positive, and it's even greater to feel that people that are positive are showing that attitude for other people that may be on the fence about how they want to have their attitude towards the union or just the fight itself. It has changed me because, like I said, I'm the Class A shop steward, and a lot of some of the drivers that were non-union have came over to become union, have signed up because they feel that finally there's somebody there that represents them adequately and responsibly and will address their needs. That's always going to be the case, whatever work location that you're at. If there's one person, it takes a lot of your time. It does. I'm not going to lie to you. But it's a very fulfilling position that you put yourselves into because you gain one, knowledge, and you gain two, the respect of the employee and the respect of the management. Because once you become a steward and you're knowledgeable about what you're saying, they stop messing with you and they understand that you know your rights. That's a very powerful key that you hold. That's a very, very, very powerful part of a coin that you can hold in your pocket. That every knowledge is power. Having Miss Bass involved, I think it helped a lot of what was going on in the negotiations. She really helped move some of the keystones out of the way that were blocking us from fulfilling what needed to be done. I wasn't part of the negotiation teams then, and from what I was hearing is that it was very crucial having her there because she was helping the ball to start rolling. With any department, with any business or anybody that's in charge, they're afraid of change. They don't want to change nothing because they're so used to the way things are. From my understanding is that she really helped move forward and help guide both sides to move in a direction that would allow everyone to be happy. Well, I can't say that, like I said, I was brought up a certain way, and my parents always said, you need to step up and you need to say something. If you feel and if you see something that is not right, you just can't sit there. You can't sit like a child when you can stand up like a man. That's what my dad always said to me. So I decided to stand up like a man than to just sit there and take it like a child. I was brought up a certain way, and if you never stood up and you never said nothing, then you're okay with the way things were. And I've never been that person. So I stepped up. I said something, like many other people did around the district. We stood up and we rose and we fought, and that was amazing to see. It was very, very, inspiring, that knowing that people that decided to stand together stood together, and I know in the future that we can do it again if needed, because the future is always the future is always unwritten, and if you don't have the time or the strength to want to write it, then you don't have no future at all here. So I always say, get up, stand up, say something, and make your future mean something. Thank you.